welcome back to another video. I know it's been forever since I was able to make one of these, but having 20 animals inside the house isn't easy. But anyways, I'm so excited because today we're going to be talking about Sakimi Chan. And I know there's a lot of backlash with her, and there was a couple of things that she kind of didn't do well. She kind of is fighting with the fan base. I know it's Spy Family, but we're not going to talk about that. But if you're totally interested on that, the whole thing is that she just basically turned Anya, the sweet innocent little angel, into like an 18-year-old, and just basically sexualized her character. But it's Sakimi-chan, so I kind of expected it. Didn't want it, but I kind of expected it. But no, anyways, that is not what we're going to talk about today. Today I'm actually going to talk about her Patreon tutorials. That's right. So if a lot of people haven't noticed, Sakimi-chan actually does a couple of amazing things on her Patreon. She releases a special tutorial only if you get the $10 a month package, and she also gives you a free yaoi, a free yaoi print, digitally of course, Yuri. I think I'm saying that correctly, like basically like, boy on boy and girl action. Trust me, it's very good. I like it. I'm straight, but it's the art's so good. But yeah, so she also releases a couple of tutorials that are really great, and I decided to take myself up on the challenge, and you only buy maybe 2 or 3 worth of month values of tutorials, and I gotta say, they came out pretty good. But this is one of the tutorials I decided to do, and to see if maybe people might want to copy her style or learn something from her style, because for sure when I had seen her artwork I felt in love with it. It was like love at first sight. I couldn't help but wanting to draw so good like that, to draw semi-realism, realism art. I love the rendering on her skin. She makes it so pretty. It's just it's amazing. I kind of fangirled. But anyways, yes, so after taking the tutorials and kind of going around, I decided that before making the video I was going to do a pre-video making. So this is the art I was doing. This is actually of Chaz Princeton from Yu-Gi-Oh, if I remember correctly. Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh, best boy, because he is best boy. So with that in mind, I decided that why not try to make a before and an after video. So this is the before, where I didn't know anything, and I didn't learn how to render skin. I didn't know how to blur. I didn't know how to pick my color choices, things like that. So basically your amateur type of moves. So this is the amateur before video, and the other one will be the after, when I actually learned all the different techniques, and I even got to use her customized brushes. You guys have no idea how amazing her customized brushes are. I tweaked just a little bit of it, to fit my preferences, but they are so well. As you can see here, I already made a huge mistake. So I decided that right away, I was right under the neck, just shade right then and there, and then you saw me color it red. So that was a bad thing. That actually meant I rushed it, and I didn't even know what was my lighting gonna be. Like, where is it coming from? What color was the background? Where is it gonna be? Where is the shading, the lighting, and the backlighting gonna be? That's where I messed up, and I just went straight for it because basic anatomy. When you look at a person, under the chin, it's shaded, but that was just my, like, oh, okay, it's shaded. But no, I was wrong. So, same thing I did with the eyes. I just went in there and just quickly colored it in, and I told myself I was not supposed to do that. I was supposed to build up the colors, take my time, and just layering everything. But as you can see, I did not do that. I just went straight in there and just started deciding to like fill in all the colors, and that's not good at all. But that's okay, because it was only the beginning and before process. I was really doing my best, but it's just like, now that I'm seeing this video, it kind of makes me realize how horrible I kind of made this to be, and I'm gonna admit it's not my best work, but I think I'm going to revisit this piece and just try again. I'm so sorry if I'm like, I sound really tired, but anyways, so to talk more about the Patreon, I'm gonna give you a little bit more of the inside of it. So I have received 3 months worth of benefits for it, and I use the $10 monthly Patreonage. You can actually do $20, which is a weird tier. She has like half the month for part A and the second month for part B, and it comes with like different prints and stuff. So you have to like time with what you want to get and what you don't want to get. The only reason I actually had gotten one of them, I believe, was because there was a Bulma piece that she had made, and I really loved it. So, oh, and there was also an Android 18 one. So there was like two in one that I really wanted. So I decided to have bought them both. And I know she just released a Dark Magician Girl one, and I was debating if to get it, but I didn't have the money at the time. I know it's $10, but she has a limit to where you can get the digital download and stuff, and I wanted the download, but it also came with this weird, that was the same tier for the Anya piece, and I felt ashamed to get it because I love the design she created when she's fully clothed, but when she's like naked, every time I look at it, I'm like, she's just a baby. She's just a kid. So, like, there are people out there, so, but the Patreon, I believe, was pretty great. I got to use a lot of things out of it. She also gives you your free customized brush kit, so you can do whatever you want with that, and I did appreciate that, so I got to use it a lot. Like, you can see on the hairline, I just put streaks after streaks after streaks, and I just, like, this took me constantly forever, but when I was able to use the customized brush from her, which you see right now, it was just so much easier. Like, I was able to, like, streak like nothing, and it was just so amazing. But I did customize it so it can be a lot smoother, and I wanted the ends to be a lot more sharper, so I did do that. And then I created a little bit of a separation of a piece, so just a little bit of customizations. But I would, if you wanted to try that out, I don't recommend messing with it too much if you are a beginner, because you don't want to completely mess up the brush, because the brush is pretty good. So, but as for Sakimi Chan's work, I will admit, her eyes are the main thing that got to me. I would always make my eyes super dark, and after looking at my picture compared to one of her pictures, the eyes were just completely on a different zone level, and I wanted to capture that blurry, watery look effect, and it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. It was incredibly hard to get to that, but after practicing and practicing, I finally felt like I was comfortable enough to put it into one of my pieces, so I did put it on the next piece, not on this one. On this one, it was a mix. It was a mess. Like, I tried to create realism into, like, cartoon style, if you can understand what I'm saying. Like, I tried so hard to create a realistic piece, and I had no realistic, like, techniques whatsoever. Like, I couldn't even get the base of the skin color right. I couldn't even get the idea that the eyes are not supposed to be black on the outside. It's supposed to be like a dark purple or blue. So I literally could not even get the basics of semi-realism. And here I am trying to pull off techniques thinking I can do it. So it's not good. It's really not good. And a lot of people had told me saying, oh, this is a great piece. But to me, it's like, it is for what it was worth when I didn't know what I was doing. But now that I know what I'm doing, I look at it and it makes me realize, like, what did you do? What did you do? Why did you do this? Like, why? And it really hurt my heart. I was like, this isn't right. I need to do something. I need to fix myself quick. So after I finished this piece, I literally just studied and studied and studied, reviewing all her videos as much as I could, because I felt like her videos were the best way to just, like, refresh my brain, I guess, in a way you could say. Just refresh my brain on the techniques that she did. And she used mostly airbrush techniques, I've noticed, for her skin. And I've just been taking notes like crazy, studying, and I did see a huge difference when it comes to, like, color coding and rendering. Like, oh, like, you're not supposed to use black, you're supposed to use a different color. And for what I did, I literally just used the same color. I didn't even get to change the color wheel. I just, like, went all the way down to, like, a darker version of that same color, and it just looked more dull, and it wasn't as appealing. So that was another mistake I had made. And as you can tell, I'm literally just saying all the mistakes I made. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of mistakes. It's still a lot of mistakes. And here, I was trying to figure out the lighting, and then I realized, wait, the lighting might not be the same way as I had already shaded. So that was one of the mistakes I had made, where I was supposed to figure out where the lighting was supposed to be at first, so then I could fill in the rest of the shades. But I did use a reference picture for this picture. Yeah, for this picture. And it did go pretty well. Like, I remembered I had tried using it to my advantage to see if maybe I could, you know, just get the anatomy right, and I did. The anatomy was good. The only problem was that I tried to take a cartoon version of something and turn it to realism when I don't know the basics of it. So when I went to Sakimi Chans tutorials, she is a pro. She already knows what to do. She has all the brushes that she's made, all of them customized, and she just tells you literally step by step how she's doing it. There was also another thing I didn't like from her tutorials, is that she kind of doesn't speak a lot. Like, I understand when you're in the zone and you're trying to like create your artwork and drawing, but it was kind of weird that she would stay quiet a couple of times, and she's like, I'm just gonna finish this and I'll let it be. And I was like, okay. And it takes like 20 minutes for her to finish, and I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, okay. So, and I honestly cannot say how horrible this piece is. Like, I can see why people think it's good, because, you know, it's the posture's there, the clothing's there, the character resemblance is there, but the color's muddy. There's nothing bright about it. It's not appealing. I gave it this weird, ugly background that had no business being there. Like, why is there like a random pink aura there? Like, it doesn't signify anything. So there was just a huge mess on this project, and that's why I decided to use this video. And I'll admit, this took me maybe 4 or 5 hours to complete, but that was also one of my issues. It took me like 4 or 5 hours to complete. I did not take my time on it. I was just in a hurry trying to finish this because I thought, oh hey, I'm such a great artist. I could totally follow all the rules. Like, I know what I'm doing. If I can do cartoons, I can totally do realism. No, I could not. I'm horrible. Who am I kidding? Like, seriously. As a final verdict, yes, it was good. It was challenging. It was amazing. And the best part is she gives you different types of videos. Like, there's one based off of female, there's some based off males, and she even gives you a different color choice palette with some pale characters, some orange tanned characters, and sometimes she even gives you a 2 characters in one. Like Pyromithra, I have that video, and the way she did both of them so well, it's just amazing. Like, she incorporated a whole background. I love that Sakimi Chan can admit backgrounds are hard, because let's be honest, nobody's that perfect in doing everything in like so little time, because this person just whips out like 10 pieces at least a month. Like, if you think about it, she does a yaoi, a yuri, a male, a female, and then on top of that, she does a video tutorial about this stuff, and then she just does, she adds extra flair. This person really knows what they're doing, and this is their monthly job. Like, they do this every month. That's why Sakimi Chan's YouTube tutorials have been lacking, because they've just been focusing so much on their Patreon, and I do believe it's worth it, because it's amazing. Sakimi Chan even creates free brushes. Like, come on, like, what more would you want? Like, that's incredible. I would love free brushes. I admit, I do like this one. I do like the Chaz one. It's just, can it be improved? Yes. Will it be improved? Yes. Am I going to improve it anytime soon? Probably not. Am I going to do another Chaz piece? Most definitely will, because it's Chaz, and his character design is super fun to draw. I'm not gonna lie. So this is the second piece, and you can tell right away there's a huge difference. Like, I sadly already got into some of the coloring process, and it didn't record some of it beforehand, but if you can tell, just looking straight at this, I visualized already where the highlight was going to be. It was going to be on the right side, which is technically her left side and his left side, which is why I put the lighting there. It was to signify that the lighting will be there and I'm going to be using that as the piece. And you see the bottom of the hair getting darker and darker, that will be the shading. But I must say, if you are looking for into semi-realism or realism art, I do highly recommend Sakimi Chans to be like a to-go if you want to support, you know, their channel, or her channel, my bad. But if you're uncomfortable with the whole she sexualizes young children thing, then I would probably not follow them. I do believe that the tutorials are all amazing. They're pretty easy to follow, sometimes a bit boring, but you learn a lot more things you wish you would have before, I guess. So, and I think the basics that basically I learned is you're supposed to overlay a lot with your skin. One of the things I noticed, like when I was trying to create the Chaz piece, I thought I could do everything. Like I was doing everything at the same time, and then I realized that's why I was so tired. And then when I came to this piece, I was doing the faces. Like I did one face, I went to the other face, then I finished the hair, and then I finished the other hair. So I stayed in one place, continued to work on that, and then went to the next place and continued to work on that. So I kind of took my time jumping back and forth to things, you know, where it should be or where it shouldn't be. So it kind of made things a lot easier, and it also made me less bored of drawing the piece. Believe it or not, a person could probably get really bored from drawing like the same thing over and over again, which is why some artists like to focus on one thing at a time, where it's like you want to focus on that face and then the body and then the skin rendering, you know, just the simple things like that. So I did find an appreciation to that. I also found appreciation to using backgrounds. I did not copy paste the background, but I did look up a reference and look at the background and said, you know what, I kind of want a recreation of this, so I decided to recreate it, and I did. So there's just so many things you could have learned from the tutorials, and I'll admit, like, I was generally surprised. And I'm sorry, I know this video is kind of long, but the summary is basically the tutorials are great. I would highly recommend them, and for the art, for $10 a month is great. For the $7 monthly one, that does not come with the videos, but it does come with all the NSFW fan art, I believe. But the $10 ones are the ones with the monthly videos. So those are the ones I would recommend you getting if you want to learn how to draw like Sakimi Chan, because I know there's a lot of followers who want to draw just like Sakimi Chan, and I am one of those people, I'm not gonna lie. But I wouldn't want to go too fully into it because it's a lot of airbrushing, and that means it's going to be so blurry. And I'm not one to really have a blurry type of art, but I would love to learn, you know, a lot of that. You know, so I believe it's great if you want to learn semi-realism or realism art when it comes to digital processing. For traditional art, it's probably different because this is Sakimi Chan only I've seen has done digital art. I have never seen Sakimi Chan do traditional. But nonetheless, the digital art tutorials are pretty great, and they might not be classified as tutorials because they're not on YouTube, but trust me, she calls them tutorials, like hair pin-up tutorials, hair tutorials. Easy. I have gotten her hair tutorial, and it was so amazing. I got to follow along with how she did the hair, with the colors, and I just learned so much. It's more like you have to be in it than, you know, having to visualize it. Like, you need to be inside it to realize like what you're doing, and if you follow along with her, it'll be a lot more easier. Like, trust me, it will be a lot more easier, because that's what I had done, and that's how I felt like I got my hair right down straight great. Like, drawing my hair has been such a huge highlight to everybody. A lot of people always compliment me on hair, like, wow, your hair looks so great. But I did notice that my hair needs to be in par with my face, and that's what I neglected to do on Chaz. But for this piece, I was like, I'm going to spend hours and hours and days and months on this piece, and I did, and it looked and came out so amazing. It is like one of my favorite pieces. Like, instantly, it is one of my favorite pieces. And honestly, I think it is my favorite piece. I wanted to turn it into a mouse pad or a playmat. That's just how great it was. And that's how great the tutorials ended up making me feel so much better. Like, I cannot be so much more thankful for have getting only just 3 months, 3 months worth of videos. You know how crazy that is? It usually takes people like maybe 7, 10, or videos just to get better. But no, it literally only took me 3 months. Well, 2, 3, because kind of bought an extra one, but it was just amazing. It was just downright amazing. The color coding you could tell was different. I did not put in the color wheel so you can see, but I did put in the Clip Studio Paint so you can see which program I use. My bad. So you see what program I use for digital art, and I can admit this has just been by far been a great hit, and I do recommend for anybody that's from beginners to advanced to intermediates to try something like this. Try and just break out your comfort zone, like get into art tutorials and things like that. And I just cannot recommend how great this is. But this is all the amazing stuff I got from the tutorials. It's so good. Like, oh my god. I'm such a huge Okihime fan, so this makes my heart even more flutter. But yeah, it's just a complete difference. I learned how to do light colored hair, dark colored hair, gray skinned, and I even got to do like her orange, tanny, pale, whatever skin. So I'm telling you, her tutorials bang up amazing. I highly recommend you would try and work on one of those, or try and get into something like that, especially if you want to do this kind of art. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for the blabbery of the tutorials. I just really wanted to explain how great Sakimi Chans tutorials would be in case for anybody that wanted to try and take a chance on it. But again, it was worth it. I felt like I paid such great money for it, and her tutorials were so good. A little like some, I'll admit some can be boring, but it just depends on what kind of tutorials you get, because there are times where she already gets bored of the video and you can tell. But other than that, it's so great, and this video is already long. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys try getting a little bit more confident into your art and trying your best, because honestly this just made me feel so much infinitely better knowing all the progress I made, and this is literally just a year's progress worth. I know, right? That's the crazy part. This is just a year difference. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you all have such a fantastic day and try to create more art, and I will see you all in the next tutorial. Do I know what kind of tutorial? Of course I don't. Is it gonna be a tutorial? Probably not. We'll never know. I'm so sleepy. But we will try and make it. I hope you all have a nice day. Bye!